Howard Stern Show.
But I guess my point was that that it seemed like you were now getting attacked because you're supposed to come up with the perfect answer about Louis C.K. And it's like, gee, maybe I don't have the answer to everything. Maybe all of this is kind of new information and I haven't had time to rabbi it.
Well, even Howard and I have been grappling with it and saying, we don't know what to do about this.
Right.
You know, I do get that. I am defensive about it.
Yeah.
You know, when the people have that certainty of, you knew, I know that I didn't know. So you have to look at it in the context. So my context is, when I say like, Louis is my great friend, a lot of great friends that I started with and that I work with, I don't have their phone numbers. I don't have their emails. When we see each other, you fall right back into, it's lovely to see them. You know, what's been nice about promoting the special is I get to see guys like Steve Higgins and Steven, and Steven and I are close, so we're always talking and in contact, and he's a true friend in the sense of an ongoing relationship. But I see guys that I haven't seen in 20 years that I worked with, that I love, but we don't talk and communicate in that way. But in their eyes, we all, and the same way in like my mother's eyes, like when Woody Allen got in trouble, my mother said to me like, did he ever tell you that? And I'm like, I don't know Woody Allen.
To you?
We don't have a show business brunch. Right. But I consider Louis, and still do, a friend in that way. Like whenever we saw each other, I love to see him. I love him as a comic.
Right.
He was fun to work with when we worked together. This was, 25 years ago, whatever. But in my context, so I got asked about this about a year and a half ago on a podcast for David Axelrod, and a kid stood up in the audience. So my context to that is, I'm at a podcast. David Axelrod says one more question. Now, we've been doing audience questions, so it's a lot of banter. It's a lot of funny banter.
Yeah.
Okay. So the kid says, Louis C.K. was on your last show. And I'm like, yeah. I'm still in. What do you think of the sexual allegations? And I was just like, wait, what?
What allegation?
So then I'm like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah.
And so he starts talking about a woman's podcast. Now, I'm not really in the comedy world anymore.
Right.
So I don't know who this person is that he mentions. And he does mention Gawker. So to him, right, he knows about it.
You don't.
He's a kid in Chicago, not in the comedy field. He knows about it.
Right.
He's all over it. He's heard it on this podcast. He's a thing. I'm in the comedy business.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm friends with the guy that he's talking about. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never heard of the woman in the podcast.
And you're not in the business of accusing people based on some kid in an audience. You'd want to hear some more facts about it.
Yes, but I understand so I had to rabbi it a little bit in the sense of, so I have a very different relationship with the internet than kids his age do. They see it as a democratizing place where you are finding information and finding your way into things that you never had a chance to. I see it as a place where lies become fact, become canon in an instant.
Yeah.
And there's shit on there about me that I know to be untrue that is now taken. It's like an information laundering system.
Yep.
It starts out as a rumor.
It's not journalism.
And then people just cite it.
Sure.
So that's my experience with the internet.
The Howard Stern Show.